Do you think as a parent with adult children, you could actually be friends with your children? Well, I had that question asked of me yesterday. I went to see my doctor and we were talking, and I was telling her that, my son was my best friend, and it shocked her. She was shocked by the fact I said my child was my best friend. And so we talked about it, and we got into a good discussion about it. And then it made me think about it. Well, what's the problem with being friends with your kids? And it had me thinking, well, what is a friend? A friend is somebody you trust. A friend is somebody you enjoy their company. A friend is someone you share experiences with. A friend is someone you like a lot. Um, and it just made me think about it. What's the problem with being friends with your children? I guess it depends on your relationship with your children more than anything. And so what struck me was she said, "You just taught me something," because I told her, I said, "Well, my kids are adults now, so it's not really anything that I can teach them as you would a child. They are adults now, and they actually teach me a lot of stuff, or share a lot of things with me that I didn't know." So anyway, she was like, "Well, how do you get them to listen to you?" I said, "Well, because we are friends, they actually listen to me more so than if I was a strict mother telling them, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that." And I did that when they were younger because they didn't know any better. But now that they're adults, what am I chastising them for? She's like, "Wow, you have really taught me a lot." Because she's got two children, adult children. She said, and they are not friends. I said, "Oh, I see." And I just can't imagine not having one of, I have three boys, but all of them are not my friends. And the one that I am closest to, we are friends, and I feel like he can share things with me that he may not share with somebody else because he knows no matter what he tells me, I love him no matter what. So he shares things with me. And, he wants to hang out with me and he goes places with me because he enjoys my company as well as I enjoy his. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And it just got me to thinking, I was like, my mom used to be my best friend. And me and her, we shared stories together. We shared things together. She was somebody I enjoyed being around. She enjoyed being around me. I enjoyed going places with her and doing things with her. And my son is the same way with me. He enjoys doing things with me and going places with me. We have fun. We actually have fun. We laugh, we joke, and it's just like a friendship that you would have that's not related to you. I mean, you think about it. You there of course there are boundaries where there may be things that are off limit that you don't talk about, and but that could be in a friendship with someone that's not your child. You have friends that you can just blurt out, say anything with, and then you have friends where you have to, kind of reel it in or not share too much with them. So I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to have a friendship with your child. But then again, that may depend on you as the parent, or it could be depend on the child. Because I have a child that he and I know we're not friends, but he loves me and I love him. But as far as a friendship, we don't share our lives like that with each other. And he just looks at me as his mom, and he is very protective over me, and he loves me, but we don't talk often. We don't share a lot of things. And that's fine. He knows I love him, and I know he loves me. So that's totally different. But when you have a child that wants to be close to you and have that friendship, and that, sometimes you want a friend where you can trust them. There's that loyalty there. There's that commonality there where you share You've shared life together. Think about that. You've shared life with this person. Now they're adults and living through life, and they can't see their parent as their friend, or they can't share things with their parent because that's their parent. I was just never raised that you can't be friends with your parent. And there's no form of disrespect in this at all. When I say this, there is respect on my end for my child, and my child respects me. We never disrespect each other. My son has never said anything out of the way with me, and that's why I say we can be the best of friends because we share a lot in common. We're both silly at times. And, I talked to my brother about this, and he was like, yeah, it's nothing wrong with being friends with your kids. Of course, there's going to be some boundaries. And I'm like, you're right. There are boundaries where, some things we just don't discuss. But as far as having a good time and sharing the best parts of your life with someone, I would think it would be somebody that you trust, you feel comfortable with, and I see nothing wrong with that. But it just shocked me that my doctor um, didn't see it as a common thing to be friends with your kids. But I guess she was telling me how with some of her patients she just feels so, that's such a motherly instinct, and she'll tell them to do things and they won't do it, and that bothers her. And I said, yeah, that's exactly how kids are. You tell them to do something, they're not going to do it. So that's why once they became adults, I didn't care anymore if they didn't do what I say, or if they didn't take my suggestion. That was on them. I've lived longer than them, so I may have some awareness of things that they may not know about. Because my son, he asked me lots of questions about things, and I'm able to answer a lot of the questions that he does have, which I feel like is a good thing. He's an adult now, and he still asks me questions about certain things, and I think he does that because he knows I'll give him the answer, and if not, I'll find the answer. And I don't look at him like, ooh, why are you asking me that? Whereas if he had a friend and he might ask them that same question, it'd be like, why are you asking me that? I don't know, or whatever. So I think he feels comfortable having me as his mother to still be able to share things with him, talk to him, and we experience fun times together. Um, so like I say, me and my mother were friends, and we went everywhere together. And as a matter of fact, my mom, she where if I moved somewhere, she would move maybe 5 or 10 minutes away from me. She was always at my house. She had a key to my house. I had a key to her house. And thank God for that, because when she was getting sick and everything, I was always there for her. And so that was a great thing. But I don't see anything wrong with parents and their adult children being friends. What do you guys think? Do you have an experience where you just feel like you're the parent and that's the child no matter what age they are? Now, I tell my kids, I love you no matter how old you are. And my fascination with my children are, I've never seen them as adults. They were always my children. So now I'm fascinated with the adults that they are. And so that's when I see them, I mean, I could cry sometimes when I think about my kids, because I think they are just the best kids in the world. They are grown men now, and they are beautiful, beautiful people. And I see so much of me in them because they're very nice to people. They're very friendly to people. They'll talk to anybody. And it just makes me happy to know that I think I had a little bit to do with that. But they are great people, and I just get the best feeling when I'm around them. I really, really do. And like I say, when your kids grow up and they move away from you, you should still be intrigued. I did get teary-eyed. You should be intrigued by the person that they're becoming. And my kids are all grown. but I still get fascinated by the adults that they are. They still fascinate me. And it makes me so happy to know that they are my children and I love them so much. And they are my, well, I love them so much and they are my friends. But you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? Can a parent and their adult children be friends? And if they can't, why not? What's stopping you from being friends with your kids? You know, what's stopping you? Because it's wonderful. Who else has your back more than your kids? Who else as a child has your back more than your parent? My kids know I got their back and I know they got mine. If I need them, Johnny on the spot right there. So, but you guys take care of yourselves. And I just thought this would make a great video because how many parents don't look at their adult children as their friends? So you guys tell me what you think in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.